What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing today? Hope you're having a blessed day. I know I am. People who are close to me kind of know I'm going through a little issue. My wife and I are going through a little issue right now, but I'm very blessed. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So, I mentioned on my last video that I might do a rifle, might show one of my rifles. I'm not gonna do that today. We're just gonna have a discussion about something. I've been wanting to do a little 2A stuff, and some things sparked some things in my mind, and that's what we're gonna discuss today. We're gonna discuss a little 2A stuff. So if anybody not familiar when people say 2A, they're talking about the Second Right Amendment, okay? That's given citizens, okay, the right to own and possess firearms, okay? Giving us the right to form a militia, okay? The right to defend ourselves, okay, with firearms. That's the rights that the Second Amendment grants us, okay? Now, there's a lot of controversy about when it was written and who it was intended for, okay? Not everyone believes, and I am one of them, do not believe that that was written for people of my color, okay? But that was then, this is now, okay? We all fall under the same umbrella, all right? Regardless to how you feel about it, everyone, if you are a United States citizen, have, well, there are some amendments to that. There are some, you know, of course, if you're a felon, there's some things to it, right? But in essence, if you're a United States citizen, you have the right to defend yourself with a firearm. You have the right to own a firearm, okay? Now, today, there's multiple campaigns to restrict those rights, okay? I don't agree with any of them. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not agree with none of them, okay? And here's the reason why. The right to bear arms is essential to our freedom, okay? And the reason why I say that is because when you have the right to defend yourself, okay, when you have the right to, and when people say like form a militia, okay, what they mean by that is, and what was intended was, forming a militia is the right to get to a group together, right, for a common goal to retain your freedom from tyranny, okay? Now, if you think about it in essence, you're not going to defeat the government, okay? We don't have, as citizens, right, the capability to defeat the armed forces, okay? Let's be serious with that, okay? But what it does is it gives pause. Anytime you have a private citizen, the ability to defend themselves, okay? Then there's always going to be pause with trying to dominate them or try to take their freedoms, okay? This is why a lot of third world countries, a lot of countries with limited access to, you know, the ability to defend themselves fall under tyranny because they have no way of defending themselves. You know, they don't have a right to defend themselves in some matters, in some cases, okay? We are afforded that right here, right? And that right needs to be preserved, okay? What I'm afraid of, and what a lot of people are afraid of who are advocates and proponents of defending the Second Right Amendment, is we want to have, there's multiple reasons why, and I'm going to try to cover a few of them as quickly as I possibly can, okay? But one of the reasons is that when you're able to defend yourself, you're not relying on another party to defend you, okay? And let's think about this for a second. Right now in this country, there's a lot of discussion about policing and the lack of or the over of policing. And those are some serious conversations we must have and things we must solve, okay? Because over policing is an issue in this country, okay? Under policing, allowing crime to run rapid in some areas is an issue, okay? But the ability to protect yourself is essential to your existence. If you rely on someone else to protect you, okay, let's look at some scenarios, right? If say you have a home invasion, okay, your home is being invaded, right? At best, if you're in the perfect situation, the alarm goes off. It's triggered. The police is triggered right away, right? Everything is perfect. It's going to take them 15 minutes. It's going to take them 10 minutes to actually get on location. Do you know what can happen in 10 minutes? Your whole family could be gone, right? And what are the police doing? They're investigating, okay? In most cases, that's what police are doing. They are investigating the crime that was committed. You know, I'm not saying they don't stop crime. But what I'm saying is in most cases, they're responding to something that's occurring. And at best, if you're lucky, they're able to, you know, intervene and maybe slow it down, you know, or catch the perpetrators. You know, that would be ideal. But to prevent it from happening, let's be honest, that's simply not going to occur unless they have prior notice that something's going to happen and they set up, you know, at the location and they're ready to you know, pounce when, you know, the criminals, you know, start committing the crime. That's the only way they're going to stop crime, okay? Another way is just being present, you know, being in the area and they, you know, the criminals see the cops are there and they change their mind, you know? So in essence, it's your responsibility to protect yourself. And that's what the Second Amendment right grants you. It grants you the right to protect yourself, okay? And that's why it should not ever be infringed on, okay? I don't agree with any infringements on our second rights. I do not agree with it, okay? Now, let's take some other scenarios, right? Let's say you are in the store, you are, you know, in the streets, you're doing, you know, going about your day, right? And you see a crime occurring, all right? Isn't it better for you, a person that's armed, right, to be able to respond to what's going on in real time versus, like we said, alarm going off, the police being notified, they roll up on the scene and start investigating, okay? Because that's what they're going to wind up doing. You know, most times they're not going to get there in time to stop the crime from occurring. At best, they might stop the escape, you know, or they might, you know, be able to get there as it's occurring, or in the middle of it, at best, but they're not going to prevent it. So let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It's not ideal for us to be unarmed and at bay to criminals, okay? What you have to understand, right? I don't care what law is ever created, right? Bad guys are gonna obtain weapons, regardless, okay? Regardless of what law is on the book, bad guys are not going to stop committing bad things because there's a law on the book. They're bad guys, okay? And I've always thought that it's a better situation for more good guys and women to be armed and to be able to defend themselves than bad guys. I think that's just common sense, okay? So listen, whenever you talk about restricting law-abiding citizens from protecting themselves. What you're actually doing is asking them to rely on the police or other government agencies to protect you. And what that means is controlling you. That's what that really means. If your protection is in someone else's hands, that means they have control of you. Because now they can pick and choose who they protect. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. And when you wrap your head around that thought, then you understand why the Second Amendment, right, is so important. A lot of people say it's important for rich people or entitled people, to keep their right to, to bear arms. Really, to be honest with you, with that law, with that amendment, what that right really does, it protects the less fortunate more than the fortunate. And when you understand that, and when you really, really wrap your head around that, you understand why I'm so passionate about it. Because you are responsible for your protection. When you allow someone else to be responsible for your protection, you're giving them the power over you. Thank people. Think. Okay. So listen, let's move on. Let's talk about how not just wiping out the whole Second Amendment, because I think a lot of times that's like a dream for some of these advocates, these people who are against the second right. They know that that's really a stretch. So what they do is they try to do smaller things like restrict certain weapons, certain modifications of weapons, and try to make it harder for citizens, right? Law-abiding citizens to protect themselves. They're not going to wipe it away. I think they realize that. So they try to make it harder for you and try to frustrate you, right? So one of the biggest things is that they try to identify like certain rifles, like AKs, okay? They try to identify that as weapons of war or things of that nature. And that's so far from the truth. AK is it's a modern weapon, and it can look intimidating, right? But it's no different from a regular hunting rifle, right? It just looks different, right? It does the same thing, right? It allows you to pull the trigger and with one action, fire a round. Same thing as a lot of other guns, okay? Now, you get caught up in mag capacity, you get caught up in a lot of, I call them like little, I don't know, it's like the keywords that just tug at your heartstrings, just tug at your emotions, Say, well, why someone needs a 100-round mag? It's unnecessary, right? When you go to the range, it's necessary. It's fun, okay? And let's just keep it real. A law-abiding citizen is not a threat with a 100-round mag. A 30-round mag is not a threat in the hands of a law-abiding citizen, okay? A 20-round mag is not a threat in the hands of a law-abiding citizen, okay? But that's who you're restricting. You're restricting a law-abiding citizen, okay? You're not restricting a criminal. A criminal is going to get their hands on whatever they desire to commit crimes. That's about as real as I can get. A criminal is going to get whatever they want to commit a crime, whether there's a law for it or whether there's not. So laws only restrict good people, law-abiding citizens, from their activities. That's what laws are about. Because you're not going to stop crimes. You're not going to stop criminals from getting what they want. Okay? So let's kill all that noise, man. Let's kill all that noise, right? AKs, ARs, yes, they are used in war, but not the versions that law-abiding citizens get. We get semi-automatics. We do not get full automatics, right? If a crime is committed with an automatic weapon, that gun was obtained illegally. It was a legal gun that was modified to make it an illegal gun. Okay, so it's already a crime to own it. So now when they commit a crime, they're committing two crimes. You see what I'm saying? You're not stopping crime. You're not stopping crime. All you're doing is taking things from law-abiding citizens. You're not taking anything from a criminal. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. Okay? So before you start jumping on that bandwagon, before you start falling for the old hokey doke, right? Understand what is being done. They're trying to restrict your rights to defend yourself. They're trying to use mass murders, mass shootings to tug at your heartstrings, to take away your power to defend yourself. That's what's being done, okay? Anytime they restrict, you might hear restrictions on, right now there's a big thing about arm braces. I showed you one of the guns. It was, it's not a short barrel rifle, it's a pistol, okay? I kind of trick you with the wording of the title, right? It's a pistol because it has a brace that you wear on your arm. I think I demonstrated how you're supposed to wear it. The ATF allows you to hold it up, right? So you know you're not supposed to shoulder it, fully shoulder that weapon, but you can hold it up and you can put it against your cheek, so it gives you a better stabilization to the weapon, and that's legal, right? But they're trying to restrict that now. Okay, that's not stopping a criminal from getting one. It's stopping RaiderKev. It's making RaiderKev a criminal. RaiderKev is the guy that's going to protect you. Okay? That's what it's doing. It's stopping law-abiding citizens. That's all it's doing. It's making law-abiding citizens criminals. And that's a tragedy. And it goes against everything that we should be believing in this country. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. You're going to hear more news. This is a subject that I really want to touch on. I know this video is already long, and I know you might be, bored already, but I just want to touch on it. I want to give you some ideas. I want to start that discussion. So listen, leave some comments. Let's have some discussion. Whether you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me, let's talk, okay? Because that's the only way we can get that dialogue going, if we get that feedback, okay? So let's do that. Give me a thumbs up, right? Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm putting out videos pretty consistent now. That's not gonna last. Okay, that's not gonna last. So give the notification bell so you can know when I drop another video. Subscribe, and hey, give me that thumbs up, and let's talk. Let's talk, okay? Let's interact. That's what I want this channel to be. I want us to interact. So listen, guys, take care of each other, love each other, be blessed. RaiderKev is out.